Okay, Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Welcome back, friends. Welcome to another video lecture by Kami Biology. In a series of video lecture, we are going to talk about flagella in a detail. Okay, so actually, this is the video lecture which are regarded with the cells. Okay, so in this first part of the flagella, we are going to talk about the introduction and the different flagella in a bacteria, or we can say different types of bacteria according to flagella. Okay, so first of all, we are going to talk about flagella. So let me write flagella. Now, what is flagella? Again, flagella is another organelles that are usually present in a prokaryotic cell as well as in a eukaryotic cell as well. They are usually present outside of the cell. Okay, and first thing, the second thing is that flagella is actually a thread-like structure, or it is actually in we can say a hollow tubes which are actually arises from the cell membrane to the cell wall. Okay, from cell membrane to the cell wall and to the outer area of the cell. Now this flagella, if we see, so the length of this flagella will be 15 to 20 nanometer. Okay, so it's 15 to 20 nanometer, it will be long. Now what actually happen if, let's suppose, this is the cell, this is the outer membrane, and means this is the cell wall, let's suppose, and this is what, this is the cell membrane. This red one represents the cell membrane. Okay, so where exactly the flagella are present? The flagella are actually arises from this cell membrane area to this cell wall. Okay, so this is the cell membrane, this is the cell wall. Now, so they will be arises from the cell membrane to the cell wall. Okay, and its length will be 15 to 20 nanometer long. So its length will be 15 to 20 nanometer long. These flagella are actually important for the cell movement. When the cell move from one place to another place, it will be possible by this flagella. Okay, flagella is actually thin. Okay, we can see it with the electron microscope, but with light microscope it is very difficult to see, because this tail or this flagella is very thin. Okay, but what actually happen, we can stain this flagella with different reagents. Once we stain it, so then this flagella will be thick, and due to this thickness we can easily watch it with the light microscope as well. Okay, so this is actually a little bit about the flagella introduction. Okay, now flagella is actually plural, and the singular will be flagellum. Okay, so flagellum is a singular and flagella is the plural. Now, if we talked about the bacteria according to flagella, so there are I think 4 types of bacteria according to the flagella. So the first bacteria, if we are going to talk about, so the first bacteria we call that Monotrichous bacteria. Monotrichous bacteria. Now, it is that bacteria which have the flagella on one side. So let's suppose if means this one. So monotrichous means it has one flagella at one end. So let's suppose this is the bacteria and they have the flagella on the means on that end. So we call that monotrichous. Okay, monotrichous bacteria. The example of monotrichous bacteria are Pseudomonas aeruginosa. Let me write Pseudomonas aeruginosa, okay, remove the spelling mistake by yourself. Now this is the first Pseudomonas aeruginosa, and second we have Vibrio cholera. Okay, this is the first one. The second we have Amphitrichous. Amphitrichous. So Amphitrichous bacteria are those bacteria which have 2 flagella at opposite end. So how? Let's suppose this is a bacteria, means let's suppose this is a bacteria, and they have one flagella at one end and the other flagella will be at their opposite end. So this will be another flagella. Okay, so they have one flagella at the one end and the other flagella will be their opposite, not at that end, not at there, not at there, will be present at their opposite. Okay, and what actually happen, then there will be a questions arise in our mind. So how then this bacteria will be moved? Now not these two flagella will be activated at a time. First of all, sometimes this flagella will be activated. When this flagella is activated, means when this flagella are performing their function, so this one flagella will be deactivated. They will not perform their work. And when this one is activated, means performing their function, so then this one flagella will be not performing their function. Okay, so that's how they can move. But when both are performing, although it is not possible, but when both are performing, so then this bacteria will be show a tumble movement, means sometimes they will move this one direction, sometimes they will move this direction, means they have no a specific direction where the bacteria can move. Okay, so this is about the Amphitrichous bacteria. Now the example of the Amphitrichous bacteria are Spirellum serpens, Aqua Spirellum. Okay, now next we have Liphotrichous bacteria. Liphotrichous bacteria. Now in this case, a bacteria have a flagellum at one end. When a bacteria have the flagellum at one end, we call that Liphotrichous, means a lot of flagellum. So let's suppose if this is a bacteria cell. So let's suppose if this is a bacterial cell, and there will be a lot of flagella at one end. So let's suppose this is the first end. So at that end they will be what? They will be flagellum. So this will be called, what we call that? We call that Liphotrichous bacteria. Okay, so Liphotrichous bacteria, let me once again tell you, Liphotrichous bacteria are those bacteria which have a lot of flagella at one end. Okay, the example of Liphotrichous bacteria are Pseudomonas fluorescens, Pseudomonas fluorescens, Okay, so Pseudomonas fluorescens is the example of Liphotrichous bacteria. So then last we have another bacteria, we call that Peritricous bacteria. Peritricous bacteria. Now Peritricous bacteria is that type of the bacteria which have a flagellum at different sides of the bacterial surface. So let's suppose if this is a bacterial surface, so in this case they have a lot of flagella, means at that area, at that area, at that area. So when a bacteria have a lot of flagella at different sides, so we call that Peritricous bacteria. And the example of the Peritricous bacteria are E. coli, Salmonella typhus, Salmonella typhus, and we have Proteus mirabilis. Okay, so that's all about the flagella. That's all about the bacteria division according to the flagella. Okay, so I hope you understand about the flagellal introduction and different types of bacteria according to the flagella. Inshallah, in the next video lecture we are going to talk about the structure of the flagella in a detail. Okay, so stay tuned and continue to watch the rest of the video regarding with the flagella. Thank you so much.